tempo offense. They run the ball well. They run it fast. They snap it. They always got motions. Big thing for us is to know where we've got to be and make sure that we don't turn anybody loose is the biggest thing. And I think the one thing our guys are picking up on, we got some experience coming back. We remember the tempo of the game last year. It's a matter of us executing our calls.
Looked like, and Coach said yesterday that Jalen was going to get worked in towards the end of the league, but then he was in there a little bit earlier. Jalen Jefferson.
Yeah, Jalen will be in there. I think he'll be a game time decision. I think Jalen's played enough. As long as he knows what's going on, there's a lot of snaps that he's played, and that makes a lot of difference with experience.
In a game like this, the athleticism of a guy like Michael Barton, who's again sound like he's questionable, and a guy like Devontae Downs, their athleticism, their speed, their ability to run sideline to sideline, is that at a premium, especially because of the way they get out on the edge?
I think that's the biggest thing. Oregon's built on speed and built on confusing the opponent, and you got to know what you're doing, you got to know how to do it, and that goes with experience. Then you got to be athlete enough to do it, and that's critical for us.
How important is depth going to be, especially in that secondary against an up-tempo offense like Oregon?
That's one of the things that we've talked about all year long is building depth, and I think we've built it. We'll maybe not be where we need to be as much as I'd like, but we have built depth, and we'll play a lot of people. We'll play 10 defensive linemen. We'll play 3, 4, 5, 6 linebackers, 2 nickels. We'll probably play 2 deep at every position.
In the secondary, what Vernon Adams does so well, he keeps the play alive, and then everyone just kind of runs out there and in holding patterns, just circling until he can catch free. What's the most difficult part about having to cover receivers for that?
I think the biggest thing is knowing where your guys are and that putting your eyes and being disciplined in your coverage. When the pocket breaks down, everybody's got to know what their assignments are, and we've got definite assignments for everybody when it breaks down, and everybody's got to just execute.
Mariota wasn't quite like that. When Mariota moved, he moved with a purpose. He moved to run, not to just keep things alive. Although he did do that a little bit, right. Adams seems to do that a little bit more. You said the key is experience. Guys who've seen this before, and they didn't see that.
Well, I think the big thing is we've practiced it, but we've had experience within a system, within snaps, and against his offense. And now this will be something new, and it's something that we can focus on one thing instead of 10 new things that we've never seen before.
You guys brought in a lot of new guys to that secondary in the offseason. Why haven't we seen more of those? Some of those guys this year?
Well, as the biggest thing is guys develop, and some of the guys have stepped up from last year. When you look at our secondary, at the way we finished the year, the 4 starters are really, if you count our nickel, there's nobody starting from last year's team that's starting now, so in a sense they're all new. Stephen McClure missed so many games last year, was playing a different side. Demarie Drew, Allensworth was a nickel as a backup guy. Every one of those starters in the back end is brand new from a year ago. And then we've developed in depth as guys have happened. But the big thing is guys have stepped up that have been here, and now the other guys have got to match up with it.
You brought in so many JUCO guys, with Brown and Kari Vanderbilt and Antoine Albert. Had you at the beginning of the season expected that those guys would play? Because
no, I didn't really expect it to play. I expected that somebody that stepped up to the performance level would. And what's happened is other guys have stepped their game up. Allensworth, Darius White, Cedric Dozier have all stepped up their game, and those guys are coming. But the bottom line is the game has been stepped up, and the bar has been set higher, and that's a good thing for us.
Turnovers. It seems like that's been the you have 22 still, I think, tops in the country as far as turnovers gained, but the last 3 games only one.
Well, we've had one the last 2 games. We've had a chance at a couple more. They didn't click. We just keep stressing and emphasizing it. Turnovers are part of the offense, and then partly the defense, and that takes a little bit of both. We've seen 2 really good quarterbacks lately, 2 really athletic teams, and that's where it all turns in.
Analytic in what sense do you mean that?
From a standpoint of you've got to make sure that you're everywhere you need to be and do your assignment. And sometimes the quarterback throws a bad ball. Okay, he doesn't throw a bad ball. It doesn't change. How many times have we seen a touchdown off of a busted coverage? It was a great play that really was a bad defensive play. And some of the turnovers come from the offense, and some of them come from the defense. And that's the biggest thing that we try to look at is say, be where you're supposed to be. We had, I think, 4 opportunities against UCLA to have interceptions, and we didn't come up with the ball in that. Against USC, we probably had 2. And you got to cash in. That's the big thing we talk about is turnovers go both ways. Offense turns it over to us, and when we don't get that turnover, we turn it over back to them. And that's what we got to be able to do.
What has Dozier done to kind of come on a little bit stronger?
Technique. He's technique, and that comes with experience. He's done a great job of being a technician, and he's not playing as many snaps, but he is twice the player he was a year ago. And again, the bar's been set higher, and he stepped his game up, but he hadn't stepped up enough to win a starting job.
Luke played a lot on the offensive side of the ball in this game last year. How's he doing?
He's doing well,
now
and he'll
in
play.
safety?
He's going to play, and he's doing well. He made a tackle in the, I think, third or fourth quarter, probably early fourth quarter, down on our sidelines. That I'm like, who is that making that tackle? Really come up and did a great job. He's getting experience, and that's part of it.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Good deal.
Thanks, sir.